I recommend Tulare to not only growers and colleagues here in the Central Valley of California, but to other growers across the world. They offer top quality products to help you grow and sustain a healthy crop.
Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with Pacific Nut Producer Magazine, reporting to you here today from Tulare County with the Tulare County Sheriff Mike Boudreaux. He's been doing some great work over the years. We appreciate your work with agriculture, specifically tree nut theft, which has been a severe issue in the past. Fortunately, thanks to your efforts and a great team, we've been able to mitigate that a little bit. But when we lose a load of almonds or walnuts or pistachios, we're talking like $250,000 to $500,000 in losses, right?
It's significant. There's significant losses when it comes to any type of agricultural commodity, but nuts are uniquely one of those things that is easy to distribute on the black market. There's no serial number on a walnut shell or a almond shell or a pistachio shell. So when those end up on the black market, it's very difficult to track them down. And when they first started hitting us here in Tulare County, we were new to this. They would come in and they would circumvent orders and come in with fake drivers and fake identifications and just a variety of different things that they did. But we subsequently, through our investigation, learned how the operation was working. We would lose a $500,000 load of pistachios at one time, but we would know very quickly to begin working with the Port of Los Angeles police, begin networking with them, and eventually we were able to dismantle many of the black market and criminal organizations that were operating in these nut thefts. And as well as we began educating our growers, we began educating our processing plants and dehydrating plants, and as well as increased levels of security when that load leaves the plant. And so because of all those increased levels, we've seen zero major nut thefts here in Tulare County. We went from $500,000 to $2 million losses in 1 year, down to about $500,000 the year after. And then after that, we saw zero nut thefts. And that comes with working with your agricultural partners, not only educating us as a law enforcement company, but working with all of the agricultural companies throughout the county, as well as throughout the state of California.
What would be your recommendation to our growers and processors to protect their valuable asset?
Never let anything leave with anyone you don't have verified. Never let a load leave without a double check, an identification verification, and a confirmation with the trucking company that you have contracted through to make sure that that load is going from point A to point B. And as well as make sure that the timelines, once that load is left, to monitor and pay attention to it. If it's supposed to show up in Los Angeles 6 hours from now, you should be checking 6 hours from now. Don't check 3 days from now when someone has called and said the load is not here. That helps us as law enforcement. If 6 to 8 hours from now your load has not arrived and there hasn't been an accident on the freeway, that helps us to immediately get involved and begin tracking down these criminals. So for me, the advice would be is never let a load leave without verifying the company, the trucker, the identification, and biometrics. Take a fingerprint, take a photograph, so that for law enforcement, if we do determine that is they're coming in to illegally take that load, that we have something to go back on. But again, don't let any of those loads leave without triple checking the verification of that load.
Great. Well, you've heard it from the sheriff himself. Thank you for your good efforts protecting our valuable investments here in the industry. Read more about these things in Pacific Nut Producer Magazine at Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.